On this episode, I'm joined by Scott and Michele Atwood of the Main Street Mouse to talk about their journey from Michigan to Florida, the growth of their Disney community, and how House of Mouse Expo became one of the premier Disney fan events around. Plus, with House of Mouse Expo returning July 31st through August 2nd, we take a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into creating this unique Disney gathering. Today's June 19th, 2026, and this is episode 879 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today. All right, everyone, so today we are sitting down with my good friends, Scott and Michele Atwood, the founders of the Main Street Mouse and the creators of the House of Mouse Expo, which is returning July 31st through August 2nd at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista, right near Disney Springs. Now, if you've attended home before, you already know it's one of the most unique Disney fan events around. But today's not just about the expo itself. We want to go behind the scenes and tell the story of how two Disney fans from Michigan built a huge Disney community, moved to Central Florida, and created an event that has become a gathering place for Disney fans from all over the country. Whether you've attended every year, are planning your first visit, or are hearing about it for the very first time, today we're taking you inside the story of the House of Mouse Expo. All right, Scott and Michele, I am so thankful to have you two on. It has been a long time in the making, I feel like, and I'm sorry we haven't caught up in a while. We got to do a little bit before we hit press record, but welcome to Main Street Magic.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Jeremy.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
So before we talk about the House of Mouse Expo, which is coming up here very, very soon, and we really want to spend a lot of time on that, for any of our listeners that maybe don't know who Scott and Michele are of the Main Street Mouse, somehow, talk a little bit about what first sparked your love for Disney and how you ended up moving halfway across the country from Michigan to Florida to basically, work on this dream of the Main Street Mouse.
Go for it.
There you go.
Yeah, go.
Well, my love of Disney started when I was like 2. My mom taught me how to read on. You remember those books that you used to get in like the monthly books? I don't remember what they were, but they were Disney books that would come. Yeah. And it started for me. I don't remember not loving Disney. Let's just say. So when I met him, I was like, okay, well,
him.
When I met him, I was like, all right, so he liked Disney, but he didn't love Disney. And that was a personal goal for me. So on our honeymoon, where did we go? We went to Disney.
Of course.
And so, it was a goal, Jeremy. It was a goal.
Ironically, though, I was the Marvel Star Wars fan, which at that time Disney did not own.
Yeah.
So it's almost like she brought me into the Disney bubble. And then my two favorites came into the bubble shortly thereafter. So it kind of worked out good.
And
which then solidifies your overall love of the entire Walt Disney Company.
Correct.
It does. So we were, you tell the story about how we came up with the Main Street Mouse.
Oh, so we were actually on our honeymoon and we were at the parks and I was social media, like MySpace was the big social media at the time, when we're going back to. So we were sitting there and I kept looking around and being a tech guy. I kept saying to her, I said, there has to be a way to bring all these people together to talk, to be able to associate and share their love for this together. And at the time I go, just to share their photo pass, because all I saw was the cameras taking pictures of everybody up and down Main Street and all that. And so we talked about it, and she said, oh, there's a couple sites I follow for information, because nobody really had a blog or anything at that time. So we came back home, we talked about it. We're like, we should put together something. This could be revolutionize everything. This could be the greatest thing ever. Not knowing what was already out there. And then I started looking, I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing this. I found out what everybody was doing. So I spent the next, year learning how to build a social media site is what I started as. Wow. It wasn't going to be a blog. It was going to be a social media site of our own for Disney fans. I built it. It was going, but it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. So it just ended up becoming an informational site about everything Disney. We had a nightly, or was it weekly or nightly chat? I can't remember.
Gosh, I don't remember, but we actually had chat on that site. That's a chat room. So we would meet, tell people we're going to be online at 8:00 on Tuesday. Yeah. So if you want to come in and talk, and we had actually people show up, which was crazy. That's actually how we met our friend Corey.
Yeah. Corey.
Corey.
Yeah.
He was one of the original chatters back in the day. But then I got laid off from my job. And I started our Facebook page. Now, mind you, Facebook was not a thing. People were still hanging on to MySpace with both hands. And so was I. Yeah. I'm like, what's this Facebook? I don't like it. You can't put music and decorate the background like you can. I didn't like that. My profile is not pretty. But I was so naive to think, and this is really very naive. I love Disney so much. There's got to be people just like me out there. I mean, I did a couple. So when we created the Main Street Mouse's Facebook page, it just grew and grew and grew into something that I couldn't handle anymore. Because I thought, have a few people. Yeah. Oh, as you know,
we actually, when we started it, we had the idea we were going to send out membership cards to everybody who joined our page. And we did. And I think Corey still has his card because he was one of the first ones.
That's so cool.
Buttons. Oh my God.
Buttons. But it went so fast. It's like, okay, what were we thinking?
People out there, they have our membership card and button. That's how naive, Jerry, that's how naive we were. Because I honestly didn't really know anything about fan sites or anything. It really wasn't a thing. Right. But also when we started growing the Main Street Mouse, Facebook was not putting limitations on how it is now. It's a pay to play type of thing. But then if you liked a page, you saw a page.
Yeah.
So we were growing by the thousands weekly. And it basically got bigger than what we anticipated. So, we got the site. I started writing. And in 2014, my dad had come over on a snowy day and he said, you guys got to get out of here. And my family's very close. They all still live up in Michigan. And I didn't want to go. They didn't want me to go. But they said because of the success of the site, we had to be where the action is. Mm-hmm. So we said we'd give it a year. And it's 12 years this year. So incredible. It was very scary to do.
Yeah.
It was very scary because when my job also ended up downsizing because my department was gone away with. They sent all the people to Texas and it was like, you either go to Texas or you are unemployed. And I came home and I told her, I said, I'm unemployed. And I said, well, if we're ever going to turn this Facebook site into something, we have 6 months of severance pay to see if we can make it work. And we took that 6 months and we started making money with it. We did everything we could and it worked. And like she said, it was a year and a month after I lost my job, we were on the way down here.
Wow. That is absolutely incredible. Well, and there's two things that I think, helped attribute so much to your growth. One is you guys are like some of the OGs. I mean, you were some of the first, again, to do this. As you said, back then, social media wasn't so broad. There weren't all these channels. There weren't all these sites. There weren't all these podcasts and, YouTube channels covering Disney. So there was such a limited amount of places that people could go. But the other thing is, what I noticed, as you said, is you didn't build this to start as being like a news and informational site. You started as a community.
Yes.
And, you know, we all know now that is really what attracts people so much is that community, especially now when you can get lost in all of the social media and all of the sites and podcasts and blogs and stuff that are out there. So you guys started it with this vision of building a community, and you've continued to do that, you know, all this time now for over a decade, which I think is just absolutely amazing. Did you, when you were on your drive from Michigan to Florida, you know, and you said we're going to give it some time, we'll see what happens. Did you think it would become what it is today? I mean, I know we all like to have grand ideas, but in your heart, did you think you were going to still be in Florida 12 years later, or you would end up maybe heading home with your tail between your legs?
So I was seeing progress. I was seeing things start to work. Very in the beginning, when I was still working before anything happened, we came up with the idea of people wanted to be our sponsor and such. We turned everybody away because we didn't want somebody coming in telling us how to run what we wanted to build. We wanted to do it our way.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to work with us afterwards, you could come in that way. So we always had that thought of we're going to make this our way. And once we do, people are going to want it, and then they're going to want to work with us. Fast forward to when we moved down here, and we came down here, we didn't know how the Disney media list worked, had no idea. We had never been really invited by Disney for anything. But in the back of my head, I always kept saying to myself, this could really take off. And I said, and I had big dreams. I'm like, we're going to be out there with like Entertainment Weekly and People Magazine, and we're going to be front and center with all this stuff.
Really?
And the Travel Channel and all this. And it wasn't that way. And it took us a couple years down here to get rolling again. And we struggled for a couple years because cost of living down here was a lot more than it was up in Michigan. But we paid our dues. We fought. If we knew there was an event going on in the park that there was going to be media invited, we went that same day ourselves and did it on our own, just from behind on the other side of the rope.
Yeah.
So we did all the events on our own. We covered everything new that opened on our own. We did all this thing. And then like SeaWorld noticed us.
Yeah.
Legoland noticed us. The Icon Park area noticed us. So these places gave us a chance when Disney hadn't yet. And we looked at each other like, you know what? Let's take it for the opportunity it is and give us the experience of covering a media event. So we know that when Disney does come calling, because I always said they will come calling one day.
Yeah.
We would know what we were doing.
Yeah. And
in 2017, they finally did.
I had a different thought. I was terrified.
Oh, I bet.
Terrified. And I am very attached to the people that I love up north. And it was very hard to leave my family. And my friends. Everything I've always known was up there and still is. Yeah. You know, we don't have family down here. So it was an adjustment. I'm on the personal side of things for me. And the first time, like we had only been down here a few months when we got an invitation to cover something at SeaWorld. It was their Christmas.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And, you know, but it ended up, once I got there, it ended up second nature. So by the time Disney did start inviting us, we knew what to do. But I am, some people say, humble to a fault. I don't toot my own horn about things. I was nervous. Like, yes, I knew I could cover it, but I didn't want to go in there like, you know, that kind of a thing. There's always that little bit in the back of my head, like, don't get too far ahead of yourself. So I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, because I do have doubts about a lot of stuff. But then at the end, I ended up worrying for nothing. So I get myself all worked up for no reason. But I've always been that way. And even though we've gotten to do some amazing things with the Walt Disney Company, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, stuff that I still don't get ahead of myself. Like I remember we were on a cruise and I was so overwhelmed with gratitude. I was like, I could pinch myself. Like, how did I get here? I still do that when we get to do really cool things. I'm like, how did I get here? Because I never felt that it would become what it is. I'd hoped, but I wasn't for sure. Does that make sense?
Well,
it does.
I'm sorry. I would say, going back to what I had said though about like Travel Channel and Entertainment Weekly and all that. So fast forward to Galaxy's Edge Disneyland opening, and we were invited to go out there and cover it. Michelle is standing inside Galaxy's Edge by the Millennium Falcon recording it. And on one side of her is Travel Channel, on the other side of her is USA Today.
How funny is that?
So,
and they have all their big rigs and everything. Yep. and Iger walks out, and all the oh my God, Harrison Ford,
Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Billy D. Williams,
and here's me with my rig, and I'm scared, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose this live feed. There's too many cameras, and I had a ton of people watching with me. It was the coolest experience, but I was so worried about losing my feed and the big cameras next to me, and here's me like, I cannot believe I'm in here with like the big people. That was one of the moments that I was like, this is crazy. We've done this. And but still I was scared. You should have seen me. I'm like, please don't my hair.
Her
like,
fingerprints are still next to rig.
Like, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh boy.
Because I knew people were counting on me. And I think that's how I've always done this. Like when we cover media events, I try to like, don't make it about me. I make it about what we're seeing. I want people to see what I'm seeing at the same time. Like when Toy Story Land opened, live feeds were a bigger thing then. And I went live as I was going through the gates of where the big Woody is, because I wanted people to see what I was seeing. And that was the goal of the Main Street Mouse, was to bring that Disney magic to people that don't get it on a regular basis. That, I would love to see Toy Story Land. I would love to see Galaxy's Edge, but unfortunately I can't come for this reason, that reason. So that's where I felt for our social media that I'm going to take you with me. Like, let's do this together. And like you said about community, that was my way of keeping the community going, by letting people see what I'm seeing when we cover media events.
Yeah. Well, and I mentioned that you guys were some of the originals, which has helped with your success, but another thing that has helped with your success so much is what you've just spoke about, is you two are very humble. You're very real people. I've been lucky enough to know y'all for several years now and spend some time with you guys, and what you see is what you get. You're the same as you are out in the world and in Disney parks as you are at home and hanging out with friends and stuff. And so I think people see that. And again, that is what brings that community and all together. And we were talking about this too. A lot of people see the end result. They see you, standing at the opening of Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland between US Today and Entertainment Weekly or Travel Channel. And, they think, oh boy, that must be nice. But they don't see the decade before that and all of the hard work and everything that you guys put in. And you continue to do that. And so it makes you very real. I think it's another reason why people gravitate to you guys so much. I know it's one of the reasons I did when I came across, your content at first and had an opportunity to meet you guys and was like, oh, wow, this is who they really are. Which is super
take it or leave
cool.
it, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A little crazy sometimes.
Yeah. And that's the way to do it. And I love that you want to bring people with you into the parks. It's so like Rhonda and I will come back from trips sometimes and I'll go through photos and I'm like, these are a bunch of photos of our faces. Like, you don't even know where we are what are we doing? Like, we want to, so I think that you're putting people in the position where they're alongside you as opposed to watching you react. They're getting to have their own reaction when they're seeing some of these things for the first time. So, again, I think that's just so cool. I know your dad, Michelle, urged you guys to move down to Florida and, live your dream and follow your dream and all. What did your other family and friends think back home in Michigan? Where there had to have been a couple that were like, you two are nuts. This is never going to work out. I'll see you in a couple months. Or were most all of them very, very supportive?
I think some of them still feel that way though.
Yeah.
They didn't understand it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Actually, everybody was really supportive, and it's
amazing
because supportive but sad, and because they didn't want to see us go, but they also saw something special in what we were doing and felt like we had to try.
Yeah.
So we said we would give it a year,
and
I'm not gonna lie, when we go home to visit, my family and friends still like, we wish you were here. You guys ever gonna come back home? And I miss being home too. So it's in a perfect world, I have a house in both places so that I could spend time. You miss out on things back home, but honestly, everybody was really supportive. And the first year we had a meetup in 2014, we had a big meetup and a bunch of people showed up. I walked in terrified, like, is anybody going to be here? Like, it was and we had almost 100 people show up at Epcot that day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was floored. Well, my two girlfriends, Michelle and Paula, they from the very first meetup they flew in, and they have been supporting us ever since. So we do have still support from home, which is great. But honestly, people were sad to see us go, but they wanted us. They understood. They wanted us to try and understood how important it was because of what was going on, and the success was getting bigger than what we were. They knew we had to try. So everybody was great.
That's incredible. Well, it's that community and all that you've built that I know in Scott's head was twirling around for a while of doing some sort of large event, some sort of expo. When did the idea for House of Mouse Expo first start? And what was it like, I guess, sitting down and saying, you know what, we're going to actually do what it takes to make this first one happen several years ago?
So in 2017 was the first time we got to go to the D23 Expo. At the time it was the Expo. And we went and we drove there from Florida to California. We drove with our dog and the boys. We got in the car and we drove across country because somebody doesn't like to fly. So we drove.
I have flown there since.
I know.
I have.
So we got out there and I'm seeing what they're doing. And I had always loved conventions. Like Motor City Con was the big one in Michigan, which was the first media event as the Main Street Mouse we ever covered, actually, when we were still in Michigan. They invited us to cover it. So, awesome. And that was Michelle's first experience of a convention. She didn't have no idea what it was like, you know. Nope. She had the stereotype of what she thought it was going to be like.
Like, this is going to be a big nerd fest. I really don't want to go. You know, I had preconceived notions. And then by the end of the weekend, I was like, this is really fun. Yeah. You know, this was back in right before we moved. This was 2014. Yeah. So when we saw, and like, I'm going to step back again. When we moved here, there's local conventions that we helped promote, like Spooky Empire. We had done the vending side, we had done the promoting side, we had done like panel hosts, we've been guests, we had done everything but host an expo. Right. Yeah. So we had we already had a little bit of knowledge on all of it.
Right. So when I looked around at what D23 was, and they kept advertising it as a fan event. And I'm not to say Disney did anything wrong, because they didn't. They did it their way. But I walked around going there as a fan. I feel like this is just a big commercial for Disney. And as a fan, I want a fan event where I'm going to meet the people I want to meet. And the biggest one that I had the problem with was, and this is the story I tell everybody, is Chadwick Boseman was there. Black Panther had just been announced. They were going to have Chadwick and like 3 other people from the movie that were going to be there signing autographs in the Marvel booth. And it was free, completely free for autographs. You just had to get a wristband. And they said, we're giving away, I think it was 100 wristbands when the doors opened that morning. So get your wristband, come back, get your autograph on the poster with Chadwick and whomever else was there. So as media, we got in an hour before everybody else. They were already out of wristbands by the time I even got there. And that was an hour before the floor opened. Jeez. I was bitter. I was so
bitter,
still bitter, especially since
I can sense a little bit of that.
Especially since nobody knew he was sick. He ended up passing. But he was out there and he was meeting the fans and he was doing the things. And I said, that's the experience I'm disappointed by. And I would never want to do that. So when I came up with the idea, I looked at Michelle and I said, I want to do a Disney convention that covers everything under the Disney umbrella, but is like MegaCon. So you have your vendors who are selling all their merchandise on the floor. You have the celebrities where people can pay and they can go meet the person. They can get a photograph. They can get a video call. They can get an autograph on an 8x10 or on a Funko Pop, whatever they want. I just wanted to, and go sit in the panels. I wanted to create something where everybody involved, guest, attendee, vendor, and our staff all had a good weekend. They all walked out of there going, that was fun. Because as Michelle said, we've done every other aspect. Somebody was always unhappy. Yeah. Either a celebrity was unhappy because the attendance was there, or the vendors were unhappy because the traffic wasn't there, or what have you. So many different things. So I said, I'm going to do it differently. And I watched all these other shows, and we had friends who ran shows in Alabama. And I went there and I watched them, and they did a lot of things that were good. But then I was like, but I would try it this way, or I would do this. I looked at it from my analytical side of everything and organizational side of everything. And then when I started putting it together, so this was in 2017, I started coming up with the idea. We came back from D23 and I told Michelle, you know what? I'm going to call around to some hotels and see what it would cost to rent the venue. We went to the Hyatt's
Yeah.
at Disney Spring, and they handed me the price list to have the weekend for their rooms, and I was like, this is never going to happen. Okay, dream over. Go on. We walked away. Because it was like, I want to say it was at the time like $50,000 for the weekend for just the space, and that doesn't include every other charge that gets added onto that.
Right.
So I just put it in the Rolodex. It sat there. I didn't really talk about it much. It was always a dream, but it was never a dream that I saw coming to fruition. Well, then COVID happened. The world stopped. The world as we knew it, we didn't know what tomorrow was going to bring. And I looked at Michelle one day, and our clothing company was doing well. And I said to her, I have to take this chance. I have to just, if it's one time, I have to see if I could actually pull it off and do it and bring my vision to life. And if it fails, we're okay financially. If it's successful, awesome, but I have to try.
Yeah.
So we after COVID, people needed to get their hotels running again. So we found a hotel that was willing to work with us to get people in the door. And so we went there, found the hotel. It's the Embassy at the time. Talked to them, had it there. Thanksgiving weekend was the cheapest weekend to do it. So that's why we picked Thanksgiving weekend. Everybody said they loved it. We walked away from there. I even said to her when we left, I said, I did it. I pulled it off. There was no major hiccup. There was a couple hiccups, but nothing major that was like devastating. And I was just, I was overwhelmed. I cried when I walked in the room and saw the banner or saw the whole room set up.
Yeah.
At the end of the event, I cried because it was over, but I did it. Lou pulled me aside, and you know Lou. Lou pulled me aside, and he had tears in his eyes, and he goes, you did it. He goes, you pulled this off. And it was just things like that made me like, holy crap, I really did this. Now, that was coming from no experience of doing that side of it, of working contracts, of talking to the celebrities, agents and stuff like that, of ticketing and vendors and all that stuff.
It's a lot.
It was a lot. The best compliment I got was one of the agents, Derek Mackey, said to me, he goes, Scott, you would never have known this was your first show. He goes, you did this like some 15 and 20-year-old veterans do it. He goes, but you did it better. He goes, you made everybody happy through the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And that was an ultimate. And you've met Derek. Derek doesn't give compliments just to give them.
No.
Right.
So for him to say that, for him to tell me that, it really hit home with me hard. So that was done. And then I think it was just a couple weeks and everybody's like, okay, when's the next one? And then it just started rolling forward.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, we got a chance to attend the first one and we came as guests and fans, really. I mean, we knew you guys, but we hadn't formed as much of a friendship at the time. And we were camping at Fort Wilderness for Thanksgiving. And then I said, I really want to go to this House of Mouse Expo. We had the girls with us and we came over for the one day. I got right up here, still the photo of us with Boo Boo Stewart that we got, which is just one of my favorites. And same thing, I remember it being such an incredible experience that if I had not known it was your first year, I would have never known it was your first year doing it. And what I've been lucky enough to see and now come and help you guys put it on, and Rhonda and I come and volunteer on the staff and all, is seeing how much it's grown as it continues, and now we're going into your fourth one. And it really is a testament to what you've pulled off, because it is such an amazing event. I want you to kind of tell the story. We were talking about this before we really hit record, about coming down the elevator for that first expo and wondering, are we going to walk into just an empty room or are people going to show up?
It really did. Because I'm the one who has a hard time remaining positive at times. Okay. So we were staying at the hotel, of course, and I was going down the elevator, and then you go down the elevator and then you have a hallway to get to where the banquet rooms are. And I'm praying. I'm like, please let somebody be there. Please don't let me walk into an empty room. And as I was walking down the hall, I started to see people, and I'm like, oh, there's a person. And as I got closer to the opening of where the doors are, I was like, people showed up. People are here. But in my mind, I never like to get ahead of myself, ever, ever, ever. Maybe that's a bad thing, because I should be like more like, yes, people are going to be there. Yes. I just don't like to get ahead of myself. But that first one, I'm like, please, Lord Jesus, let there be somebody there when I get down there, because I was scared.
Yeah.
It is so hard to know what's going to happen. It's almost like, surprise, we're here. And you've worked the expos. Like we walk in the first day going, all right, here we go. And we don't know what it's going to be. Right. So that first day, absolutely terrified. And thank God people were there.
Yeah. Well, and it's so hard to gauge, because you can only gauge leading up to it on statistics of how many ticket sales were there prior to opening the doors the first day. Right. How many vendors did we book, and did we sell out the vendor floor? Did we do this? Did we get the proper guests? And so, to actually experience it. And another thing you guys have done so well is, as great as that first expo was, you still took the time after to say what could make it better. And I can remember at the end of, going into the second and third of them, after that first day, you guys kind of gathering all of us and being like, what could we improve on even tomorrow, and making adjustments on the fly. And you put such a wonderful focus on not only the guests and the fans that are attending, but your guests that are there, the celebrities that are there. I can't imagine that, and I'm sure you guys have some insight. I can't imagine there's a lot of expos that some of these celebrities go to where they're as well cared for as you guys care for them. And again, it shows through the interactions that the fans get to have with them. I would have never guessed in a million years that, I would still be in touch with some of these celebrities that I've met throughout the years at the expos, because they all take so much time and effort to truly be with the fans. And I think it helps because it's such a wonderful collection of celebrities that you guys bring together. The mega cons, you can get the big huge stars where you're going to pay a lot of money and you're going to get 5 seconds with them if you're lucky, and you're going to walk away. And let's be honest, it's a pretty forgettable moment, and that's nothing against the people that are organizing those expos, and it's nothing against the celebrities. That's the way it's going to be if you've got, the level of some of these folks. But you guys have such a wonderful collection year after year where they can truly spend time, and the fans that are coming are true fans. Right. They know all of these celebrities' work. And so it's just such a cool, again, community that you guys have created there. What is the overall hardest part of organizing the expo each time that you do it? Like, what is the one thing that if you could just wave that magic wand or throw some pixie dust on it, it would just take care of itself?
For me, it's honestly finding the right celebrities. Because, I take that back. So the first 3 years, it was finding celebrities, because nobody knew who we were. So I had to find agents. I had to reach out to agents. I didn't know anything about negotiating contracts. I had to learn what guarantees were and per diems were, and I have to pay for their transportation, get into the airport on their side. Why do I have to pay? I mean, it was like all these little fees and things like that. I had no clue what I was doing. And now with the fourth year, they came to me, which was totally unexpected, that these agents were reaching out going, hey, Scott, fourth year, are you interested in so all these names of people? I'm like, holy crap, when did I cross this threshold that I was trying to find them before and willing to take whatever I could make happen? So now they're coming to me and they're willing to work deals to make it happen for them. So for me, that is definitely the one thing that it's finding now that I have a ton of people coming at me, because I still, even last week, I had somebody, would you consider bringing this person in? I'm like, I'm full. I can't bring it. I don't have any room.
It's amazing.
But that was one thing. And then it's always trying to find out, like, if I sign somebody up early, like if I sign this person, say one person early on, and then we get everybody signed, and then a couple weeks later, somebody pops up and they're a bigger name than anybody we've even have coming. And we look at each other and go, oh, had we not signed this person, we could have room for this person. Or it's that whole not knowing what the people are want. Yeah, trying to juggle up, but also every year we've kind of had a theme with our guest list. The first year was a little bit of a hodgepodge. Second year was mostly Hocus Pocus and some Disney older voice actors. Legends. Yeah. Year 3 was definitely a big Disney afternoon crew of people with voice actors we had there. This year, I think is our most diverse guest list we've had, because we're touching everything: Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, Pixar. We're touching everything in this year.
Disney Channel,
Seinfeld. I mean, with John O'Hurley coming. I mean, it's Phineas and Ferb, so it works. So it's that's the hardest one, is trying to figure out who we can sign, who is okay. We have to sign them. They want to be there. We got to sign them now, so we get them locked in so that they can't go to another show and then we lose out. But it's also making sure that whomever we bring in is going to draw the fans to buy the tickets to come to the show. So
we never know.
Know.
You could think somebody is going to definitely be a huge draw, but then, you see more people at so-and-so's table. It is so hard just because, and this is what I had to learn, just because I am not, I don't want to say not a fan, but I'm not familiar with so-and-so, doesn't mean that a bunch of other people are the same way. Obviously, they're a celebrity for a reason. So it's kind of like taking our own wants and needs and our own fandoms and think, what do the people want? Like, what would the average Disney fan like to see? And that's so hard trying to figure that stuff out.
That's probably the hardest thing to figure out is what other people want to see. And we've always, every year, we both have had people, we kind of like, oh, I'd like this person to come. The Hocus Pocus year, of course, was Michelle's highlight, that 10 people from the Hocus Pocus films were there, and she got to see the panel, and she loved it, and she was all in her fame. For me, last time, having Ross Marquand from the Marvel universe there, to me, just fantastic experience. A couple of them that are coming this year, I'm just so excited to meet them. John O'Hurley, huge, because I'm a huge Seinfeld fan.
Huge.
So I had Lee Ehrenberg, who was also in Seinfeld.
Yes.
And now that I'm getting John O'Hurley, and it was funny because when we signed John, the agent actually represents like 5 other people from the Seinfeld universe. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, how would you like this person? And some of them actually have Disney credits. And I'm like, oh, I could. I told her I could get this person. She's like, you don't need all Seinfeld people there.
No, I mean, I know he loves Seinfeld so much, but we still had to be diverse with, and I think this year is the most diverse. We have somebody from everything. It's
and
like
every age group.
And every age group.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, from Alcaio, who Spidey and Friends, to Wizards of Waverly, Beyond Waverly Place.
He's on Gumball. He's Gumball's voice.
John's in his 70s and he's on Phineas and Ferb. Olivia's in her 30s, I want to say, and she's on Phineas and Ferb and Adventure Time. But then you've got the Star Wars people. You've got the Armorer from Mandalorian come in. You got Leilani Shu coming back. We got the voice of Minnie Mouse coming back.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and she is wonderful.
And those are the only 2. I said originally I wasn't bringing back anybody. This was going to be a whole new cast, and Leilani and Caitlin both reached out to us,
and they're like,
"That's amazing.
Can you please come?"
So, because of that, I want to touch on one thing of what you said, because you're correct. You had said about how we treat the celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
So we end up. I don't know, because we're not business people when it comes to owning big conventions. So I treat them like, almost like, I'm really nice to them, don't get me wrong, but like I've known them a long time. Yeah. So we end up becoming friends with these people by the time they leave. And we make sure, because our staff is all our friends, we know that they're going to be taken care of. And as far as a big community, that extends to our celebrity guests, our guests that come in the door. We want it to be like I don't know. It's so cheesy to say everybody's friends by the end of the weekend, but it is. And that's so important to me. I want people to leave and feel like I'm with my people. I am with like-minded people for these 3 days. And the celebrities, because of the way we bring them into the fold with us, they don't feel rushed to talk to people. They sit there and chit chat. If there's nobody at their table, I mean, even if you're not purchasing anything, they will still come on up and talk.
They will. Yep.
And it's really important that we keep that rapport going.
Well, the one thing I was going to mention, and you were there with us. So year 1 ended, and our big ones were Bill Farmer, Jason Marsden, Larry and Tobias, Doug Jones, all those guys, Margaret Carey, all them. But then about a month and a half or so later, you went with us, and we went to the Ancient City Con.
Yeah,
no, it was the one in Jacksonville. I can't remember which one.
I can't remember the name of that one either.
It was in that old mall.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was like in an old Sears or something.
Yeah. And we walked in there, and we walked right back to where Larry, Tobias, Doug, and Jason were all at.
Yeah.
And they all came out from behind their tables, came and gave us all hugs. And it was just like, they had become friends with us from that weekend. Now, we already knew Jason, we already knew Larry, we knew Tobias, but Doug we had just met that weekend at our show. But now we're friends with them. And and like you were saying, it's so weird that we meet these people, do these shows, and get to meet. After year 2, we were out shopping somewhere. Lee was at year 2, Lee Ehrenberg.
Mm-hmm.
We were at Walmart and we're walking around grocery shopping. All of a sudden my phone rings and I look down and go, it's Lee. And she goes, what's he want? I pick it up and it's Lee. He goes, hey man, I'm just calling to BS with you for a little bit. And I'm like, what the hell?
And he plays fantasy football with the Pirates now.
Yeah, with Lee, with Bennett and Marty.
Yeah, so I call it the Pirate League. But that's just super important. And speaking of that convention that we all went to, which I forgot, that was something, wasn't it? Yes. But it was the Hocus Pocus people that really pushed him to keep this going, because he was on the fence, and Doug Jones said, you got to keep doing this. It's special. It's important. Larry and Tobias especially, he kept using the word community with me. Yep. It's about the community. It might take time to get this off the ground, but it's great and it's important. So I love the fact that he kept using that word when he was talking to me, because he got it. He got what we were trying to do. And we're different. So maybe that's why it's harder to get off the ground, because we don't run things. Maybe, I don't know. We're very nice about stuff. And we just want people to feel welcomed when they come in the door. And it's celebrities, it's guests, it's staff, whoever. And that's why it's important that we have staff that are friends, because you guys all understand that you know us. And we want to keep that welcoming feeling all weekend long.
Yeah. Well, it's fan focused first is really what it is. And you are creating that community to make sure that the fan and the paying guest that comes in has the absolute best time and value for their money that they can. And obviously when you're doing something like this, you would love to walk away with it with a big old positive, green in your Excel spreadsheet, but that's not the way it works. And you guys still, beyond all of that, you make sure that you focus on it being the best event possible. And, going back to some of the celebrities and what I love about them, and I'm very lucky that I get to be a part of this and I get to spend a little more time with some of these celebrities. One, Lee Ehrenberg is one of my favorites because he's like the ultimate crossover between Disney and Pirates, not only Seinfeld, but he was in an episode of my favorite show ever, Scrubs. Same with Marty, of course, was in Scrubs as one of the janitors. But, Hocus Pocus folks, Tobias and Larry, like the folks that you bring in, Jason, Doug, they are legitimately wonderful people, beyond whatever their status may be. I don't go a month without seeing Tobias pop up on something now that I don't even realize he's in,
and he is popping up everywhere.
It's amazing. He is absolutely crushing it. And Kaylin, my oldest, and I, last September, it was Ancient City Con. They were doing right down the street on my birthday weekend. And we were away and we came home that Sunday, and I told Kaylin, let's go down. I know that Larry and Tobias are going to be there. Let's just go in the off chance they remember who we are, whatever it is. And I remember walking up and them remembering exactly who we are, coming out again, like you said, spending time talking to us. That's what Tobias told me. He was going to be in Monster, the Ed Gein story on Netflix, and we watched it just to wait for him in the last episode, and he crushed it. But again, these are folks, and it's not just the fact that I've, again, been lucky to spend, or you guys, extra time with them. I watch them do this with other fans that come up. I watch them come up and remember other fans from other conventions, that come back to see them. And they're just wonderful people. And it really, again, it creates that incredible atmosphere and community. And a lot of these are those cult following type of fans. When you have voice actors from Phineas and Ferb, you have this cult following of Phineas and Ferb that people want to come and they want to meet these folks. So I think it's just incredible. Throughout the weekend, I kind of know how this goes, but do you get time to enjoy the expo while it's happening? Are there any moments like at the end of day one, or does it take until the end of the whole thing where you get to take a breath and kind of say, look around and really take it in and appreciate what you've created?
For me, throughout the weekend, I really don't enjoy it in the aspect of I'm just having fun. I am trying to make sure everybody else is having fun. Everybody else is getting what they want. That's what I try to do. And like you said earlier, our staff is all our friends. We don't have any volunteers staff there that doesn't know us personally, that doesn't see my vision, that doesn't know, because everybody I have out there I trust is going to bring my vision of life through their eyes and try to do it the best they can.
Yeah.
But by the end of the whole weekend and things are starting to calm down and the guests have come and the celebrities have made their money and everything is happy, then I go around and I get my autographs from our celebrities, and I have my Funko Pops and I have my different things I want signed. And that's when I get to go around and I get to thank them for being there. And they all graciously have always signed whatever I brought to them to have signed. And they all thank me and they give me a hug and they're just happy. So to me, that last probably hour on Sunday is probably the best hour for me because I get to do that. For you, you love the party.
Love the after party.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Because it's, we have them on Saturday night. We have food, we have dancing. And it's just kind of a couple hours to let loose. Like, I don't have to worry about who's doing this, who's doing that, who's where, people need you over here. People need you over there. It's just kind of shake it off, if that makes sense, and we have celebrities that come to the parties and we always have good finger foods. We have different things. And I love the parties because it is just a time to breathe for a little bit. Not to mention, I love to dance. So I love the music, and it's just, our parties are a good time. But honestly, the whole time I'm having fun. I like to be busy. I don't mind if people call me in 8 different places. I feel needed, and I like to check on the celebrity row to make sure all of them are good. I like to, talk to them. You good? Do you need anything? Whatever. On the last day of our show last year, I came down with something fierce, and I spent a lot of time in the green room because I didn't want to cough and, on anybody. So I feel like I did miss out on that last day.
You're a panel host usually.
Because I'm a panel host and I lost my voice. So that wasn't good. But most of the time I'm having a good time. But I love our after parties, and I just like to be on the floor talking to people. So I have a good time the whole time.
And about our after hours party too, and for people who don't realize that, so DJ Elliott, who if you're a Walt Disney World or Lucas fan, you know who DJ Elliott is. I mean, he's done Star Wars events for Disney for years. He's done other things. His company's the lead DJ for Disney, and 4th of July, he plays Castle Stage a lot of times himself. Yeah. So he did the first one. One of his people did year 2, the Hocus Pocus one, because she was a Hocus Pocus fan who worked for him. And you'll see her at the Halloween parties during Mickey's Not So Scary. She runs a lot of the music for that. And then year 3 was our friend who was on Margaritaville Radio on XM. She was the morning DJ for Margaritaville Radio. She came into that one. And this year, Elliott's coming back because we're doing Star Wars. And he's going to bring it like Star Wars throwback for us, he did at the studios.
Because he was DJ Lobot for Star Wars Weekends.
Yeah, amazing.
And so he has all his set list from Star Wars Weekends, which is going to be really cool. I like the idea of having Elliott because he is in the Disney bubble still. Yeah. Elliott did do you remember Frozen Summer Fun? Those weekends? Yeah. Elliott was the DJ for that. Yeah. So what was it? Galactic Nights for Star Wars?
Yes.
Is that all the big parties he's done? Yeah. So we're excited to have him do our little Star Wars Weekends throwback party.
And it's funny, when we got started before year 1, we had reached out to Elliott about, hey, can you help us find a DJ? Because I didn't think we could afford to even have him be a part of it because he's DJ Elliott, We thought
he's DJ Elliott.
Yeah. But we met him at Outback for lunch one day, and he's like, we didn't really talk. He's like, yep, I'm doing it. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yep, I'm in. He goes, I'm like, okay, well, what's your fee? He goes, buy my lunch. Okay, buy your lunch. Wow. And that's how it kind of rolled. And he came in there and he had this big plan that he had his idea. He goes, yep, I think we can make this fantastic. He goes, we're going to do it. And
it was just because he believed in what we were trying to do. And he had actually said, because we had talked to him years before on and off, that he had the idea of doing some sort of a dance party, off Disney property for Disney fans, whatever. So this kind of fit into what he would have liked to have done anyway. So
Mhm.
that's why it was easy to work together, because he thought it would be cool to have a non-Disney official type of dance party, and we were facilitating that. So it all kind of works together.
Yeah. What's a story that you guys can share that is just something that attendees would not believe happened kind of behind the scenes, or one of the funniest things that happened behind the scenes, whether it was a airport pickup or something not going the way that you had planned, or whatever it may be.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I got one about the airport pickup.
Okay.
All right, so we can't do them all ourselves, and we have had many stories of the back and forth. Well, was it year 2? We had sent our friends Corey and Ronnie to go get Bill Farmer, and
It was year 1.
Was it year 1?
Yeah, because Bill came year 1 and 3.
Okay.
It was year 1.
So they didn't know what to do, and they were nervous to go pick up Bill Farmer because he's goofy.
And Corey had never even been to the airport. Corey had no idea.
He's never flown.
He had never been on a plane.
Wow.
And we sent these two to get Bill Farmer. So Corey's driving, and Ronnie gets out. Ronnie took a scrap piece of paper, all crinkled up, he found in the car, wrote Bill Farmer on it, and stood there with this scrappy piece of paper.
I still have that piece of paper.
Still have the paper. And it's just so funny because Bill is the nicest guy.
Yes.
I mean, you could have just said, hey, Bill, like when we picked up Donnie Dunnigan at the airport, who was Bambi, I went in to find Donnie and his wife, and he remembered me from before, and he was just like, oh, hello, you don't need the paper. It's almost like they thought it was like on TV, and sometimes you do, but you should have seen this crappy piece of paper they used. We still have it. So that was funny. You have mishaps, like bad things that happen, but not bad, but inconvenient things that happen during the weekend and stuff that you don't want to deal with, but as the bosses of the thing, you have to. There is nobody else.
We have to be able to put out fires no matter how the fire has started or what's going to take to put it out. We got to figure it out on the fly because there's not a lot of time to think about it.
Somebody comes up to you and say, hey, this is happening, and you're going, okay, give me a second.
Didn't plan on that.
And you got to figure it out. But yeah, I just had to tell that airport story because
I love that one.
We tease them. We still do, I think, because it was just funny.
And without naming names, we had to deal with a celebrity who was not happy all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Just crabby, if you will.
Crabby.
Mm-hmm.
Thought he deserved more attention than, well, I just said it's a he, but thought he deserved more attention than he was getting. And he was mad because everybody else had a line with him. I'm like, well, because you're not approachable. It's like,
but he mean mugged everybody that walked by. Like,
and he didn't even come close to his guarantee, which for those who don't know, all these celebrities come in with a guarantee. And if they don't make their guarantee, the promoters are responsible for paying them out before they leave that building on the last day of the show.
They don't make it. We got to pay it.
We got to pay it. He wasn't even close to his guarantee. I sent him home like an hour into Sunday because he was bringing the whole room down.
Working out.
And I think it was the best decision we could make in that. I mean, I was looking at, oh my gosh, I owe him this much money, but he's bringing it down. He's not going to make any money because of the way he's looking. So get him out of here. But it was a good decision to send him home.
He insulted a few guests that came up to his table. It just did not work out.
And it was somebody, I was really excited about having there, and it did not meet my expectations. So that's the one thing we do find is where most of the celebrities, and 95% of them so far, have been absolutely fantastic.
Wonderful.
98%,
You do, as a promoter, you have to be ready if somebody is going to give you a hard time. And
you can't treat them like a celebrity. It's like, wait, we're business people.
We hired you to be here. So but the hard part is to remember that they are on our payroll that weekend. And so, gosh, that really sounded crappy. I didn't mean it like that. But I mean, like, you don't understand what I'm saying. Like, but
we're paying them to be there. We fly them in. We give them a room.
And if they're just really, he was not a good one. But most of the time, we've been very lucky. But, and little things behind the scenes, like the Hocus Pocus show or the reunion. That was the largest, still today. Doug Jones reminded me a couple weeks ago, it's still the largest Hocus Pocus panel that has ever existed, which I'm really proud of. But Elliot's playing and the room is full and we're all scrambling like back where the trash is and stuff. Trying to get everybody together, and you need to, oh my gosh, if you only knew the chaos that goes on, and we're all talking, we can't hear, I have to go out there and I don't know who's coming out next. I gotta wing it, oh my gosh. So this is funny. So the bus driver.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So the bus driver was just like you would imagine him to be, like his character. Okay?
Yes, he was.
Wasn't a far stretch in between.
Yeah.
And he had been giving me crap all weekend. Like, I'm going to do this at the panel. I'm going to take your microphone. I'm going to whatever. So I introduced him. He tried to take my microphone away from me, and we kind of had this going back and forth for a minute because I'm like, if I give this man this microphone, I don't know what's going to happen.
And she
there's no idea what he'll say.
No, and I still had a bunch of other people.
8 more to introduce.
Yep. So finally, he lets me win, and I have it. But he still goes out there and he's talking to the crowd, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know what he was going to do the whole panel. And if anybody goes to our YouTube channel, you can see the panel, what happened, but you just roll with it. He was a loose cannon. We dealt with it. But, I always tell Scott, when these kind of crazy things happen, at least we have a story to tell.
Yes.
We always have everything we do. We have a story to tell. Even my kids are always like, well, we got a story. We always got a story.
Always.
Yeah. So you just roll with it as things happen.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and again, all of that shows in the end of how much fun it is, that you can roll with those things. And it doesn't, it's such a well put on event, but it doesn't, and I don't want this to sound negative because it's not, that doesn't take itself seriously to the fans because they see how easygoing everyone is and how fun it is. They don't realize the scrambling that's going in the background in the green room going, oh, so-and-so celebrities off their break. And you've got, 5'1" Rhonda running them out, to make sure that they're back at their booth or whatever. And stuff like that. So, talk about, this year. First of all, give us everyone the details, talk about some of I know you can't list them all, but some of the guests that you're looking, or some of the celebrities you're looking forward to the most, some of the vendors, where are they, where it's at, and some of those details for us.
You might give the details?
Sure. So this year it is at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista Disney Springs. So we are on Disney property this year, which
such a great location.
Super excited
so
about.
Amazing.
So for those that don't know, we are right across the pedestrian bridge from Earl of Sandwich. So the bridge right there, you go boop, boop, and we're the first hotel. So easy peasy to find. Did I give dates yet?
Nope.
Okay. July 31st through August 2nd. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have an after party, Saturday night. It's Star Wars Weekends theme, like we said. And this year we have the Lawrence brothers that are coming, Joey, Matthew, and Andy, which are
amazing.
It's pretty cool because Joey Lawrence has been in a ton of stuff. They've done stuff together. And
we all grew up with Joey Lawrence. Our group is the ones that grew up with him.
Matthew in Boy Meets World. He was in a lot of movies. Mrs. Doubtfire. And they have this great podcast, the Brotherly Love podcast they do now. It's pretty funny. So anybody who wants to catch up with the Lawrence brothers, I recommend checking out the Brotherly Love podcast. But we have
the biggest one that I was the most, besides John O'Hurley, which I've already mentioned 15 times, and I will keep mentioning him.
Excited about John
I cannot
O'Hurley.
We need so Peterman.
I know. Did they make a Peterman Funko Pop?
They don't have a Funko Pop, but they have a different Funko came out with one of those I can't remember what they're called, but they're a full body, really skinny, but he's got like a scared look on his face. They do have one of Jay Peterman.
Oh, awesome.
That I found on eBay. So it is out there. It's like $15, $20, but you can get that signed to buy him. Awesome. But in addition to him, the one I am absolutely the most excited about is Steve Whitmer, the voice of Kermit the Frog, who took over for Jim Henson when Jim passed away. Steve stepped into that role.
And he created Rizzo.
And he's bringing Kermit and Rizzo with him to work the weekend. And the thing I read about Steve was that he takes his time with everybody who comes to his table, that if a child comes up or a kid comes up there and they have a puppet that they want to learn how to puppet, he will take the time to teach them how to be a correct puppeteer.
Wow.
He shows them how to do it. He wants to pass that skill on to the younger generation to be able to do it, because he feels puppeteering is not like it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's not really taught as much. So he wants to teach others to do that.
His panel will be good.
His panel is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Noel McNeil, Bear in the Big Blue House, who
Mhm.
she's very excited to see, will be there. Again, I mentioned Caitlin and Leonie are coming back. To me, Chris Bartlett, who has played a lot of different droids in the Star Wars universe now, just, I think, and seems like such a great guy. We talked to him a little bit on social media.
Nice.
Very nice. Emily Swallow from Supernatural and The Mandalorian, amongst other things she's done. She will be there. Daniel Logan, who is Boba Fett, the young Boba Fett from Attack of the Clones, but he played Boba. He was actually in the costume in the Book of Boba Fett show. Him and the other gentleman who played it, they've gotten to do that. I'm trying to think who else though we've got. It's just some guys. It's like there's so many of them. I can't. Olivia Olsen.
Yeah.
Akeo.
Did you know John O'Hurley was coming?
John O'Hurley.
I had heard. I think I saw it on the website.
So Akeo Thiel, he is the little. I say little boy. He's a teenager. He's currently on Wizards Beyond Waverly Place.
Yep.
And so he is currently on Disney Channel with that. And he also is the voice of Spider-Man and Spidey in His Amazing Friends on Disney Junior.
Right.
And also, so Gumball apparently is this big, has this cult following. My boys know who Gumball is. He is the current voice of Gumball. We have Jenna Von Oy, who was on Blossom with Joey Lawrence, but also in a Goofy movie. So you see how we've all
the crossovers are great. Yeah.
The crossovers are great. So this is something in addition. So we were approached. There's a lady that I know now, and she had this big idea to do a Dreamfinder reunion. And she is putting together 3 of the original Dreamfinders from Epcot. So we have the 3 Dreamfinders. She called me yesterday. She has got an original Dreamfinder outfit that one of the Dreamfinder sent her. So she's going to have that on display. It's going to be a big Figment booth. And they also made a special Dreamfinder Lorcana cards that are going to be their limited edition each day. Awesome. They're going to allocate so many a day.
Okay.
And there's going to be a Dreamfinder with Figment reunion panel.
Amazing.
So
and photo ops
with the Dreamfinders. And so I thought this was a good opportunity for big kids who remember the Dreamfinder being out there with the Figment puppet at Epcot. Is a way for them to kind of go down memory lane, but also people that love Figment now maybe not remember the role of the Dreamfinder, so they can watch the panel and learn the history of the character and the Dreamfinders. So I think it's win-win on that. So definitely. Figment fans are going to love it.
Oh, absolutely. And then you have such wonderful vendors out there. Like, start saving now, folks. Start putting some money aside to spend there, because there are wonderful vendors. I've got stuff in this office, especially from like Stitch Tunes in the past. I've bought a bunch of his work. There's such great vendors there. There's things to purchase. You get to interact with so many people. It's such an amazing event. So we're going to kind of close out a little bit, and I want to have a dream guest draft with you guys.
Okay.
I got a couple rounds, and I want to hear if you could have each of you, who would be your one Disney legend, living Disney legend, that you would have at your event as a celebrity?
You going or want me to go?
You go first.
Disney legend, probably Robert Downey Jr., because he would pack in the place. And
yes, he would.
I was actually in the room with him when he got his Legend Award. So, and that stuck out to me. I know that I've seen a lot get their award, but his speech and everything was great because he's just, snarky, kind of funny guy. Yeah. So Robert Downey Jr. for me.
Okay.
Well, mine is actually from the same class, that one. But mine takes it in a different, it's Jon Favreau. Because of everything John done with Star Wars and Marvel. I mean, him and RDJ basically launched the MCU together. But what him and Filoni have done on the Star Wars side has brought Lucas's dream back to fruition and made it an exciting time for Star Wars fans. So and then him on Friends and him in all of his different movies he's done as a comedic actor. I just think he would bring something fantastic to the show to have somebody like that there.
Definitely. One Imagineer.
Joe
Joe
Rohde.
Rohde.
Yeah, there you go. That was easy. All right. What's one Disney voice actor, and you've had so many already. What's maybe one Disney voice actor you haven't had yet you would love to get?
Wow, that's a hard one.
That's hard,
Because
Jerry.
Jim
I
Cummings
know
did
it
every
is.
voice.
I know. That was
knew
one of the
it.
greatest panels ever. Was Jim Cummings with Mars, and they were running through all of his voices, and on the spot he would just go into the voice for like a second or two. It was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
It really was, and I actually put out a clip of that recently on our socials because it's so good.
It is so good. Yeah.
Oh gosh, a voice. Wow.
I am so stumped because we've met all our.
Oh, I know one for you.
You do?
Yeah, Mandy Moore.
Oh,
yes, Mandy Moore. How could I forget? Absolutely, she would be my dream. Yes, and if we could pull in Zachary Levi with her, double.
Yeah,
to
that
have
would be pretty
Flynn
incredible.
and Rapunzel. Oh my! See, thank you for answering for me. Yes.
Can you answer for me?
Yours is Zachary Levi now. It's just you got to pair him up
by default, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't. Disney one is really hard to come up with one.
Yeah.
But I could lean out a little bit and say Bradley Cooper for Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Because
who wouldn't love him
then?
then?
Another actor that people would love to just
one.
hear and listen to what he has to say, and I think he would do really well.
Yeah. Well, I think that is, in my opinion, on the Mount Rushmore of voice acting is Bradley Cooper as Rocket, because it is, there's so many voices. They do an incredible job. I mean, you never know when it's Jim Cummings because he has the range that is just unbelievable. But for most of them, you can pick it up, and you can be like, oh, that's so-and-so. I mean, his voicing of Rocket is just unbelievable, and
you would never know it was him.
Yeah, you would never know if somebody didn't tell you. It's amazing.
Right.
One celebrity Disney fan, so like in the realm of the John Stamos, the Neil Patrick Harris, those types of folks, the celebrities that a lot of them have ties to Disney or have done Disney work, but the ones that are just huge Disney fans.
Stamos, I think, would be a great one.
I was going to say
because we've done a couple media events where John was there.
Yeah.
And you just see
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago. But you just see how big of a Disney fan he is. But Patrick Warburton is another big Disney fan.
Oh, yeah.
Who would be great to see, and he was in Seinfeld also.
Then you have to have him. You have to have him.
Seinfeld Con is coming. You watch.
Yes.
That's my next venture eventually.
Yeah, I would say John Stamos only because the times that I would like to have him for our show, because the times I've been in the room with him, the enthusiasm is great. And he's always somewhere. People always see him at a Disney park or Disney. They're like, oh, look, I saw John Stamos.
And he actually opened up. So D23 and 24 Parks Night, he's the one that opened it up. He was on the piano. They lifted a piano up and he was playing right there live. To kind of start off night 2 of D23.
And the panel that they did for the Sherman Brothers.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh boy, he hosted it, and he even cried at the end. It was it was the most emotional panel I had ever been to, but he was the host of that, and it couldn't have been a better choice.
Okay, if you want to pick, I'll say somebody who's not John Stamos then.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh Gad.
Yes, I was just thinking that. Yeah,
Josh he's a huge star, or a huge Disney fan overall.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk to him about Spaceballs right now.
Definitely.
Right? Okay,
yeah, who wouldn't? All right, we got a few more. We're going to veer away from that, but talking about the past 3 expos, what probably got like the biggest crowd reaction at potentially one of the panels?
Oh, to be honest, I have not gotten to enjoy the panels.
Yeah.
I mean, I've come in and out of them quickly. I ran in on Ross's for a few minutes, and as soon as I walked in, Ross pointed me out in front of the whole crowd. No, I didn't. But I came in on your panel at the last one.
Yes.
That you did. And then the Hocus Pocus one, I got in there, but then I had to go take care of some vendor issues, so I had to leave on that one. So you were more you've done more of the panels, especially being the videographer at the last
Yeah.
one. For all
I
the
got to
panels.
say, Ross's panel blew me away because I didn't know much about him or his work, and hearing him was unbelievable. That was such a good one.
His voice,
Let's.
he's
What's
good.
it?
For me,
Yeah.
it was the Hocus Pocus panel.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's got to be your favorite panel overall I mean, that was an unbelievable feat that you guys pulled off there.
You know, it was a dream for me to pull that together.
Yeah.
And I started with Larry and Tobias and then with Jason. And then I'm like, should we do this? And it just kept growing, growing, growing. But that panel itself was a hot mess. And it was, but in a funny way. I never knew who was going to say what next.
Yeah.
So definitely for me, the Hocus Pocus panel.
Yeah. What you've had cosplay every year. You have a lot of folks that come and dress up and all. What is one of the most memorable cosplays that you've had in the past years?
There was a girl who won. She was in one of the top 3 in year 1. And I believe it was It's a Small World.
Mm-hmm.
And her dress had lights and little figures on it. And it was like she put the whole ride in her dress.
And she sewed it, if I'm not mistaken. Hand sewed it.
I think she did hand sew it. And then she had like a little yarn wig on, like one of the characters.
That's amazing.
But yeah, her whole dress was if you can imagine the ride on a skirt.
Yeah.
But our good friend Brian, who is Maui,
yes,
he's like the best.
So
Maui.
good.
And so many of those tattoos are his real tattoos.
Yeah.
I mean, so when he takes off the shirt and you see the tattoos, I mean, some of them are temporary ones he puts on to fill in the areas, but a lot of that is
he is so Maui.
He is.
And he's lost a lot of weight, so he's got to put some weight back. He's looking more like the Rock's Maui rather than just the big Maui.
Yeah, the animated Maui.
Yeah. And he enjoys doing that because of the kids that come up to him.
Oh, yeah.
And want pictures and stuff. So he's a really good guy, and his Maui is great.
Yeah.
That is awesome. What's one thing you never want to have to deal with again?
Oh.
The celebrity we're talking about.
I was gonna say, I feel like we might have answered that one.
Oh gosh, what else?
I got one.
Yep.
Year 2, I'm not going to give you a long story because I know you're wrapping it up. But year 2, we had somebody who kept trying to come in without paying.
Mm-hmm.
And wanted the party for free and wanted all these things. And not only that, she was bothering our celebrities, and we had we had agents complain. And bless her heart, we just couldn't. She was just all weekend long. It was a thing, and the agents complained. And I'm trying, and it's people that don't listen. And like I said, when you are running a business, I mean, we are super nice people, but when it comes time when we have agents complaining about certain things and we have to deal with it, it's so hard because you don't want to be mean, but you also have to conduct business, and that's hard for me.
Yeah. What is one word that describes the House of Mouse Expo for you?
One word.
Community for me.
Yeah. I think that's very fitting. So
vision.
You can't use that one, Scott. Vision. I love that. Those are both perfect. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Well, I want you to go ahead, talk about the event real quick again, the dates, where it's at, and then promote Main Street Mouse, promote Launch Princess Apparel, whatever you got, promote it so that everybody hearing can make sure they go out and they visit and they support you guys.
I'll start off with the House of Mouse Expo, houseofmouseexpo.com. July 31st through August 2nd, the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista. I know you had an event there years ago, and you originally told me about the Wyndham many years ago.
We love that place.
To reach out there. The staff there, absolutely fantastic so far, everything we've dealt with. So we're really excited to have, they really want to work with us. They want to become a partner of ours for some time. So they've been fantastic and wonderful to talk with and deal with. get out to houseofmouseexpo.com. You can see which celebrities are coming. Most of them, we have the price list of what they're going to charge for their autographs, photo ops, things like that. You can also pre-order your professional photo ops on there with them. Get your tickets. I know a lot of people want to wait. Tickets are a little bit more expensive at the door, so you want to get your tickets in advance. Hotel rooms. Wyndham is giving us a fantastic deal. It's $99. It starts at $95 a night for their one area, and then I think it's $125 or something for the tower.
Still for Disney Springs, that's cheap.
Yeah,
that's
for Disney
incredible.
Springs, you can't beat the price. Again, like Michelle was saying, we're right across from where Earl Sandwich is, so you can take the pedestrian bridge back and forth. If you can park at the Springs and you're at the Springs walking around and you just want to hop over the bridge, come on over and see us.
Yeah.
If you are a cast member or a team member, $10 tickets at the door. Just make sure you bring your ID, your badge from Walt Disney or Universal or SeaWorld. Bring that and they will give you a ticket for $10. And we're only charging that just to kind of, so it's not become, we're not charging that to make a lot of money off of the cast members and such. It's just to keep things honest and going there.
Yeah.
But yeah, come there, enjoy the vendors, walk around, see friends. We have a lot of cast members who already support the expo.
Yes.
Andy, who has become a friend of all of ours.
Yes.
Andy is fantastic, and he's pushing the word with the cast members for us to get it out there. But any team members listening, come on out, have fun, enjoy the weekend, come meet these celebrities, and just have fun. Have fun with us. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It is such, before you talk a little bit about Main Street Mouse and Lost Princess and all, it is such a wonderful event. Come out, folks, not only just to support Scott and Michele, but support these celebrities. A lot of them in their own rights are a small business as well. All these vendors there are small businesses. The Wyndham is an incredible hotel. You want to be where the action is. So you want to book a room there under this incredible rate and block. I'm so excited for all of this. Okay. Continue with everything else.
Okay. So the Main Street Mouse, mainstreetmouse.com, the Main Street Mouse on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Disney news, Disney commentary, stuff for the parks, merchandise, little bit of Disney everything. And again, we've been doing it for 16 years this year. Amazing. And it's just a nice little Disney community. We also have a Disney Fan Nation if you want to join our Facebook group. But if you need a little Disney magic in your life, the mainstreetmouse.com is what we do. And also, if you need something to wear to the parks, lostprincessapparel.com. We have Disney outfits, leggings, skirts, and we just got a new stock in of really cute stuff. So lostprincessapparel.com and Lost Princess Apparel on socials.
Yeah, and Rhonda has described the leggings as wearing them is like butter, which is a positive thing. So
and pockets. We have pockets.
Pockets are so important.
Breathable fabric, nice and soft like butter with pockets.
Yes. And Michele, don't be too modest. You have a new book. So go ahead and promote that.
He just happened to have it.
Just happened to have it ready to go.
I was doing orders for it yesterday. I had to ship out.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
so exciting.
This is my new book. It's called Daydream Believing: Confessions of a Grown-Up Princess. And basically it is 20 short stories of life as a Disney fan and different things that happen when, different circumstances, different situations as we grow up, and how Disney kind of sprinkles through all of that. But it's got some really, not to toot my own horn, but it's got some really good feel-good stories. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, me too. Because if you're a Disney fan, you're going to understand these stories. And like everything else I do, I really put my heart into it. It took me forever to publish this book because I was worried it wasn't good enough or people weren't going to like it, or I had to keep tweaking chapters because I'm super hard on myself.
Finally, I just released it.
Finally, he's like, forget it. You're done.
Just do it.
You can get signed copies on the mainstreetmouse.com, or it is now on Amazon. So Daydream Believing, it's new and it's fun.
Amazing. Well, everyone, go out all of the sites, go pick up the book, buy your tickets to the House of Mouse Expo. Scott, Michele, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really, really looking forward to the event because I know it's going to be another incredible one.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, Jeremy, so much.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.